Thinking about decluttering? What if I told you there's a hidden cost? And I learned it the hard way. I have decluttered a lot over the last year and a half, but it doesn't always work out for me. Some of it has been wonderful. I've cleared out my space, I've lightened my load, and sometimes I've really enjoyed having less. But I've also made mistakes, big ones, that have cost me time, money, and even joy. Today I want to share those lessons, the hidden costs you might not expect, or the lessons I've learned about decluttering without regretting. Let's start with my closet. I went through a season where I decluttered my clothing too quickly. I got rid of things that I liked, that really looked good on me. Sweaters, floral tops, and even some brightly colored pants that I enjoyed. At the time, I was feeling very insecure. I thought that if I wanted to succeed on YouTube, I needed a different look. So I decluttered clothing that didn't fit that image. Not too long ago, I rewatched some of those videos where I was wearing those clothing, and I felt sick. They were actually me, and yet I gave them away. The same thing happened with some books. I was decluttering books. I was going too quickly. I just went, oh, I'll never use that. I'll never use that. And I didn't really stop and think, will I really never use that particular one? And so far, I have found 4 nonfiction books that I really have needed for videos on this channel, and I've had to rebuy them. It frustrates me. I had those resources. I had to spend the money. So regret is a hidden cost. Those are wins. This is serious win. Oh, it is just as bad as I remember. Sometimes you have to deal with decision fatigue. You're standing over piles of things and you're trying to go through them and you're making decision after decision after decision, and you can get careless. You can just get tired. Going through these cookbooks has been like emotional. I look at this and I feel like I'm overwhelmed. Decluttering when you're panicked, feeling down, or pressured is when you make the biggest mistakes. Oh, that's bad. This is some of what I was talking about earlier. That is the result of my mom passing away that I just haven't been able to deal with. Got her vacuum, need to decide what to do with that. Donations, garbage. I mean, I've got all these extra plants and stuff in here. You gotta figure out what to do with them, so. And sometimes you can start feeling guilty. Guilty for what you're giving away because, oh my gosh, did I waste a lot of money when I got that? Or guilty for keeping it? Oh my gosh, are my kids going to be inconvenient when I die in 20 years because I still had this? Our lives kind of ebb and flow, and we change, and we want different things with different seasons. And really, it's okay. It's just stuff. My mom tried making this for her piano, and then it didn't fit her piano. I've made so many mistakes with my home decor, and I love to decorate. But when I was first decorating, about the same time I made the mistake with my clothes, I made a lot of mistakes with my home decor. I went through and started giving away things that other people in videos were saying, oh, I don't use that anymore. It's all old-fashioned. People will tell you're a grandma if you're using that stuff. Well, newsflash, I am a grandma. And I regret that stuff, some of it. And when I go to decorate, I'm like, I sure wish I had that. So I just went too fast. Now I have a rule. I have to go 2 years without using something related to a season or a holiday before I declutter it. Because I do like to change things out every time I decorate. It's never the same. So I really need to see, am I not choosing that because I don't like it? I have to go a few seasons before I declutter things that are not related to any seasons, like certain pots or tier trays. When I look back and I'm like, oh, I haven't used that tier tray in 3 years, and I really don't want to use it anymore because it took up so much room on my table. That was safe to declutter, and I did. So how do you declutter without regret? Don't declutter when you're feeling down or insecure. Don't rush. Rushing leads to mistakes. Declutter in a small amount of time, like 15 minutes here or there, one shelf occasionally. That lets you go slow enough and stay clear enough that you can really figure out what you want to do. And work on categories or items that you've already thought through really well. I recently decorated my home for a holiday. Before I did it, I thought through everything I had, both the seasonal and the not seasonal, and kind of worked it out in my mind what I felt good about decluttering. And you know what? I ended up with 3 empty large decor bins and 1 gigantic empty decor bin. I had the back of my car filled with bags of decor. I felt so good because I knew that everything that went out the door were things that I really wanted to go out the door. But if I hadn't thought it through first, it might not have turned out that well. Give yourself plenty of time to finish. You don't want to tackle some big closet and think you're going to do it in 2 hours when you actually have to be somewhere really important in 4 hours, because there's a chance you might have to walk away in the middle and then you'll just be frustrated. So that goes back to using smaller amounts of times and smaller spaces to declutter. For me, it just turns out so much better, and I'm really enjoying the process now. I think a message is not all the belongings we have that we choose to keep feel heavy to us. Not all the decluttering we do feels light to us. But sometimes decluttering just feels freeing. And sometimes keeping the items feels good and warm and cozy. And we know that for now, it's the right decision for us. Decluttering can be wonderful, but only when it's done mindfully. For me, the real goal is not an empty house. It's a home that feels like me and feels light and good and cozy without all of the extra stuff that I had collected that I was keeping that was weighing me down, and the wisdom to know the difference. So before you declutter, pause and ask yourself, am I calm? Am I rested? Am I doing this for myself or for someone else? And have I thought this through? In the end, decluttering isn't about perfection. It's about finding peace. I hope I see you next time. Bye.